guys, Ed here. Welcome back to Models and Beer. Guys, in this episode here, we are going to complete step 8 in our build of the Trumpeter Sovremenny 1/200 scale. If you've been following along with the build, I had about a week and a half, 2 weeks where I didn't post any videos, guys, and it's only because of my job and my schedule has been crazy, and so it's kind of the point where I just kind of post when I have a chance to do it. However, for the last 2 weeks I have been kind of poking at the model, basically just putting things together or putting pieces on that probably aren't very entertaining, and you're not missing anything anyway. It's one of those things like we had in the past where it's just single pieces that are getting painted up and stuck on. So let me catch you guys up, guys. Let me run through some pictures here for you, and you can kind of see what I've done in my absence. Be right back. Yeah, so that completes everything from step 8, guys. All these pieces have been stuck on there, as you just seen, with the exception of these here. I thought these were railings, but it turns out they're not. And let me get this camera flipped around, and we'll get a little more into this. Be right back. Alright, so that kind of leads us into what we're going to be doing in this episode here, guys. The helo-pad. There turns out there's a few more things to this helo-pad that I didn't realize. I thought that was just going to be railings. We were going to stick that on there, and that was going to be the end of it. However, I was looking at my photo etch pieces, and I found, well, actually I'll show you through the camera here. I was going through my White Ensign photo etch things, and I found a big piece of photo etch and wasn't sure what I had here. Let me show that to you. Okay, so as I'm looking through my photo etch, I see this big piece here, and I'm wondering what the heck I'm looking at. So I checked the instruction sheet for the photo etch, and it tells me that this is Helo-Deck Helo restraint net. So I wasn't quite sure what the Helo net is, so I ended up doing some Google searches for it. Guys, this is my first time doing a destroyer. I generally do battleships and whatever, so this is my first destroyer and the first ship that I've done that contains a helo-pad. So it's just been a big learning curve for me. But let me kind of share with you what I found. So in my Google searches, I'm looking for the helo-pad flight deck restraint net. So this is what I came up with as far as my searches. So apparently, guys, these nets that they put down are to help the helicopters when they're landing, to give them some type of traction, something to give them, that they can grab a hold of. In heavy seas, high winds, or rainy weather where the deck is wet, these nets help the helicopters to, like I said, give them something to grab onto. So I had no idea about that. So yeah, so that's what this piece is here. So that brings us back to what these pieces are here that I have circled. So those are not railings that I originally thought. And if you look at the instructions, they show when you put these pieces in that they're in a straight up and down position. So if you look at this, you can see that it looks like it's a railing, right? Like a guardrail or something around this deck. And after researching, I'm realizing it's not. So if you look at these flight deck, they have this mesh that runs the perimeter of these decks. I'm not sure what their purpose is, but it's all the pictures I was looking at when I was searching for the netting had these on them, and they're on every single one. None of them are in an up and down position as the instruction is showing. That's why I thought they were railings, but they are all kind of laying flat, not flat, but kind of at a slight angle. So I don't know, maybe the netting, they have a way to, maybe they raise them at certain points and they can lower them down. Maybe if somebody knows a little more about that than I do, maybe they can fill us in on that. I'm not, again, not sure what the purpose is, but I think that's what we're looking at in the instructions. And so I'm going to put mine at that angle around that deck. And yeah, so that's what we're going to do. So that's going to be the project on this video here, and that's going to complete step 8 after we get that done. So let me go ahead and get that flight deck mesh here. Let's get the camera turned around, and I'll show you what we're going to do. Be right back. All right, guys, here is our piece. This was the photo etch piece from the White Ensign. This is the netting that's going to be going down on our deck, okay? And in the pictures that I just showed you from our reference photos, this netting is made of rope. And I'm thinking what we can do just to kind of make it look a little bit better and give it a little bit more interest, I guess, is I'm going to take some of this string here and just run it around the edge. And I think maybe that'll help to make it look like it's that the whole thing is rope. So I'm thinking what we'll do is run this around the edge, and then we will paint the entire thing a solid color to make it look like this is, belongs with that. And I think that'll help it, to look more like it's rope, and it'll add some interest. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll be right back. All right, guys, there we have it. Cool. Let's set this aside for painting. And now let's move on to that netting that goes around the deck. All right, so I put them side by side so you can kind of compare. Those gray ones are the plastic, and of course the brass ones are the photo etch. So I set them side by side for comparison. Okay, so these are the plastic ones. We're not going to be using these. I'm going to be using the photo etch so that it'll match our netting here for our deck. And I already shot this in a primer, guys. But here is our netting that we're going to be using. And you kind of get an idea how that's going to look together. But we're going to be painting these. So let me get this out of the way, and let's go ahead and get these pieces painted and see how it comes out. Be right back. Alright guys, got them painted. Just in case you were wondering, these are still attached to the sprue. I just left them on there for the ease of spraying because they were so tiny. So we're going to be cutting these off of this sprue here and get them mounted to the Helo-Deck on the ship. Alright guys, so this is going to be sitting something about like that. Yeah, about like that. Let me get this off of here. Let's get a little bit of glue. guys, there you have it. That completes step 8 of our Sovremenny build. Not perfect, but not too bad for an old man with shaky hands. Um, so we got the towers coming up, or a tower coming up. Let me show you here on the sheet what we got coming up on the next video. Be easier to show you than to tell you. Be right back. Alright guys, so in our next video we will be tackling step 9, which is the most part photo etch, kit provided photo etch. However, I'm going to be checking my White and Zine photo etch to see if I have any pieces that will fit into step 9 here. So let me get this camera flipped back around and we'll finish this off. Alright guys, once again I appreciate you following along, and we'll see you on the next video. Hopefully it'll be out within a week, but like I said, with my schedule, the way it's been at work, I'm making these videos as I can. So we will see you on the next video guys. Be safe and have a great week. Talk to you later. Bye.